Okay, guys. This is going to be a real quick video tutorial of just where to find things in Rhino. Rhino is a pretty complicated program, so I think that it's important to just kind of do a quick little walkthrough, a reminder of where everything is and what what some of the most basic tools are that you're going to see in here. So this is what you should see when you open up Rhino on your computer. You'll have these four windows that'll show your top, front, and right view by default, and you'll also have your perspective view. Um, you will have as well some basic tools over here on the side, on the left-hand side. Those will change if you click through your different options up here at the top. Um, so you got your standard file, edit, view, curve, whatever. And those are pretty helpful. You know, they're way up here at the top of the window, but you've also got similar little windows down here, and each one will help you um, manipulate objects in Rhino in different ways. So that's what these are. You'll probably default to standard, but you're most likely going to spend most of your time over here in curve tools, surface tools, and solid tools. I don't think we'll get to sub D or mesh, at least for this, um, at least for our purposes, but they, just so that you know, these are different types of um, modeling options, basically. So you've got all these over here, and then over on your right-hand side, you're going to have uh, basically ways to navigate the file itself. So while these are manipulating your objects, like, you know, you can draw whatever, like just make like a cube real quick, and we can like look at that. These are more so for like how your file is organized. So you've got layers, and then you've got properties of both your viewport and your object. And then your display is a little bit more so, like a little bit crunchier. I wouldn't really recommend, at least for now, going into our display. But you may be using your properties, and you'll probably be using your layers. And the way that Rhino works is that each layer is sorted on a different color. So by default, we're on this default layer. And the objects are black. The lines here that you can see are black. But if I were to move this object, and I can grab it by selecting it, and I just click on it, I just left clicked to grab it. And if I moved it to this layer 3, which is marked blue, I can right click on the layer, go change object layer, and it turns blue, which tells me that this is on layer 3. By the way, if you are trying to maneuver in any of these windows, you can just go ahead and either use the right click button to rotate your viewport like this, or you can hold down shift and hit the right click button, and you can pan. So this is panning. We're just moving the cameras from side to side, and this is rotating to kind of get different angles on the object. Now in your right, front, and top views, because you can't really rotate the camera to stay on that perfect right side view or top or front or whatever. When in perspective view, you can hold down that right click button and rotate. In your others, your right click button is going to just let you pan like that. And if you want to make one of these windows bigger, if you want to make, you know, really focus on your perspective view, you don't really care about what's happening in your top view or whatever, you can just double click on that window, like the window name right there, perspective, and it made perspective really big. And then if I want to toggle, and let's say I want to go to my top view or my front view or my right view, like I can just do that down here in the bottom left. Really easy. And then one other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is changing our like view type. So we are currently in a view type or like a display mode called shaded. So we can see that these are solid surfaces on our box here. But let's say that I want to be able to see through, like if I have X-ray vision, I want to be able to see through to more accurately determine where certain lines are and whatnot. I can go ahead and click this drop-down menu over here. And you see where it says shaded, I've got the little dot there that tells me that that is my current display mode. I can change it to one of these other things, which will help me maybe view my object in a way that like helps me design it or build it better. So if I change to wireframe, I get that X-ray view. It looks like I'm looking right through it, like it doesn't have those solid planes. I can also change to ghosted, which kind of gives us this like ghosted effect of whatever is on the other side of the box. Um, it kind of comes through like half faded. You probably won't want to mess with most of these other ones. Rendered is something that we'll get into in a uh, different video, but basically rendering is just like making it look photorealistic, assigning materials and whatnot. For the most part, we are going to live in our shaded and our wireframe. And by the way, you can get some quick actions by clicking down on your scroll wheel. So I really recommend using a mouse for Rhino and for 3D modeling in general. You'll have more access to more controls. If I click down on my scroll wheel, I get a few quick options. You can customize these if you want to, but I honestly prefer the defaults. And you'll notice that if I hover over, for example, this little ball here in the middle, you can left click to go to your shaded viewport, or I can right click to go to my wireframe. So if I want to quickly toggle between the two of these, I don't have to come up to this drop down menu every time. I can just go ahead and click on my scroll wheel, left click for shaded, right click for wireframe, or I can move my mouse over here to this little blue ball, and that will bring me back into rendered. But that's basically, what you need to know to be able to get around your Rhino file.